Hello friends, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Valeria and I'm an intuitive reader who loves to spread messages of positivity and empowerment through my readings. I also love to help people create the version of reality that they desire to see the most through my readings and through the messages I share over here on my channel. First of all, I want to express my gratitude for all of you guys who are watching, all of you guys who are subscribed and who support me. I love all of you guys. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, thanks for liking. Again, I love you. Thank you so much. And for today's reading, we are going to have a look about whether you are on the right path or not. And if you do not know what the path is for you, you have no idea, we are also going to have a look at what is the path for you and maybe any guidance, any messages, any advice from your spirit guides or angels that want to come through. I picked, like, this whole reading exists out of very high vibrational decks, so be prepared to also receive high vibrational energies. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, and also feel free to claim any messages from this reading. And if you hear something during the reading that you'd like to change or does not resonate for you, remember that picket cards only predict the most likely outcome, and you still have the power to change your future. And again, if something does not resonate, it could also mean that the message simply was not meant for you. So do still use your own intuition and your own judgment when you're listening to readings like this, like my readings and also other readings as well. So with that all being said, let's introduce our piles for today. We have 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1 over here, we have the Selenite. For pile number 2, we have the clear quartz. And for pile number 3, we have the purple aura quartz. So I'm so excited to get started with you guys' reading. So take your time to select the pile that draws you in the most or that will resonate for you the most. You can pause the video if you need to meditate on the cards, on the crystals. I will also give you some time with some music to meditate if that is what you prefer. Once you have selected your pile, you can skip to your reading using the timestamps I will provide for you down below. And once you have done so, I will see you in your reading. Hello there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started with the tarot cards first of all. So let's put these aside to look at later. And with the tarot, let's have a look at whether you are on the right path or not, or anything you need to know about this. For pile 1. Wow, look at that. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. That's awesome. Like, before, while I was like getting into your energy and started to channel your energy, I saw someone working with their hands, something related, like something creative, something related to creativity. And here again, we also have a hand. So there's something you do with your hands, or something you're supposed to do with your hands. It might be writing, painting, drawing, but you can also use your hands for different stuff, like creating things, like handiwork. Maybe you create jewelry, or I mean, there are so many things you can do with your hands. Like, I can obviously not mention every single thing, but there's something that you do with your hands that is very important. So let's see what else. Let's have a bit more information about this, about pile number 1. see, we have the Seven of Swords. What else do we have for pile number 1? Wow. Okay. Those are too many cards. I'm going to take these two. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So the energy I'm picking up here is that there is something that you want to do or that you're supposed to do, which is related to your hands, something you do with your hands. And for some reason, you feel like you're not free to do this or to express yourself like with your hands the way that you want to, because with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands, there's this feeling of you're being like inhibited of doing this, of doing something with your hand. There's either someone watching you and that's telling you you should not be doing this, or you're not allowed to do this, or you're not good enough, or this is not going to work out, or this is the voice of your own ego telling you this, because it has this kind of vibe of you have this dream that you want to do something with your hands, but the voice in your head is telling you that you will never be enough for it, or that you maybe are not able to earn a living with it, or that is just unrealistic or unnatural is also a word that I'm hearing. So there is something, could be an outside influence, could be an inside influence, or the voice in your head, could be a combination of both to kind of fit it to your situation. Maybe it's not a person in specific, but maybe it's like more a general belief system that people have, that maybe because you come from a certain place that you're not supposed to do this, right? So it's like a belief of the society, or maybe just a general belief of the country that you live in, that maybe the people of your country think, well, you cannot do this if you are this, or this is not possible because you are from here. It could also be something like this, and again, it could be a combination of multiple of these things as well, so kind of fit it to your situation. And it seems that you're a bit defensive about it, and I think this is quite complicated, to be honest, like the way that this is laid out before me, like the way that I'm seeing it, because I'm also seeing with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles that you love doing this on some level, might be on the subconscious level, but you love doing this, you love doing this with your hands. It looks like it gives you emotional fulfillment as well. It might be attracting people towards you, like maybe business opportunities, or people who want to work with you, or maybe just love offers could be as well, people who want to be your friend. Or it makes you look very attractive doing this. Maybe you're, for example, you're doing makeup or you're doing hair and you're really good at this. Maybe you're making some kind of YouTube videos related to using your hands and things like that. And it attracts people to you, and it also makes you feel wanted and fulfilled. And maybe even people are chasing you because of it, that people are coming after you because of what you do, or maybe because of who you are. But with these other two cards, again, there is a defensive energy here, that maybe you relate to this thing you do with your hands as you might have like some negative experiences of, or negative thoughts towards it. Maybe for some of you, something happened in the past related to what you do with your hands, and maybe it left you a bit traumatized or insecure, or feeling unworthy, or feeling like it's not for you, feeling like, you know, it's not working out. So there's something like this going on, that you really want to do it, your soul really wants to do it, but there is something that it's inhabiting you. It's stopping you, preventing you from doing this. And again, it might be your own voice, it might be an experience you had in the past, it might be other people's opinions, it might be the opinion of the world or the society that you live in. You know, maybe let's take a very simple example. You want to be a model, you want to be top model and a runway model, but you're not tall enough to become a model. So it's like you have this desire, this soul desire to become a model, but because of the society, you can't because you're not tall enough. So it could be something like this as well. And with the Seven of Wands, this energy is more like the Seven of Swords is kind of like other people are judging you or other people are telling you that you can't, and the Seven of Wands is more like your own voice that's telling you this is not the right thing for you, or that you're not going to succeed. So there's something about this that you love to do it, but you believe I can succeed at this. This can be right for me. But the reason that this is coming up is to tell you that whatever you are doing with your hands, what I'm also seeing, by the way, is healing, Reiki, maybe, or other healing work with using your hands, or maybe using when you charge crystals, for example, you can also use your hands for that. And it's something like this that you're supposed to do, but again, you don't feel free to explore that or to do it and to just be yourself. So what else do we have for pile number 1 about the right path for them? Yeah, and I think here with the Seven of Wands that at times you are your own worst enemy. I'm actually seeing a mirroring happening here, and I don't know, I can't tell where it started, but it looks like you, because there are also 2 sevens, and like the imagery is also kind of similar with these women who are kind of giving you that side eye. It looks like the outside world, your external world, is showing you this, you can do this because of this and this and that, and you on the inside also act a little bit defensive about it. It's like it's like it's mirroring each other. So again, I don't know where it started. I don't know if it's because of something that you experienced in the past or that people are currently telling you, and if that's the case, I'm truly like sorry for you guys. I really feel for you. This is of course not a nice situation to be in, but at the same time, I'm also seeing like a solution presented here, or something that could help you if you are of course interested in pursuing this. That's still your own choice. But the reason why I was talking about it's mirroring is because if you clear up your mind from these defensive thoughts and feeling like you need to defend yourself towards other people, the reflection in the external world is also going to change. I'm hoping that you understand that, because your inner world, like your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions, it's reflected in your external world. And again, it does not really matter how this started, where it came from. You know, maybe it's, like I said, other people who made you believe this, or maybe it's you, it's something that happened to you and then you started to believe those things, and then it came, it showed up in your reality. It doesn't really matter here, but the solution here is, like I said before, sometimes you're your own worst enemy. The only person you're fighting is you. So for you to change the reflection that you see in your external world of people who are beating down on you and saying that you can't succeed or you're not good enough, the reason to change that is to change the way you think about it in the first place, because it's only true if you believe it's true. It's only true for as long as you think that it's true. So if you believe that you're not supposed to be able to do this, or you're not allowed to do this, whatever it is that you're doing with your hands, then that's also going to be reflected in your external world. And by deciding to see this in a different way, by deciding to see the situation like, I can do this, I am enough to do this, I am allowed to do this, I am able to succeed, and things like that, you are changing the way that you view this whole situation or whatever it is that you do, and in that way your reality also shifts. So it's basically you're solving two problems at once, because there is like your external reality is a reflection of how you're talking to yourself or how you see the situation within you. So to change this, you have to start with yourself. Let's have a look at our next cards. We have the Sun. And we have the Princess of Wands. So that's nice. And at the back of the deck we also have the King of Swords. So you might need to put up some like stronger boundaries with people, or communicate more clearly that what it is that you want and what it is that you do not want. Here with the Sun card, I'm seeing that you are on the right path, even if you might not feel like it, even if you might have some doubts or you feel like you don't have the clarity, you are on the right path. And I think that letting go of whatever is going on here with the double sevens here is part of this path as well, because I'm seeing that the clouds are clearing and this beautiful landscape full of nature, of green, sunflowers and the sun and rolling hills in the distance. This is what is like being what you're being guided towards. This is what is happening. So this part that you might not feel like you have the clarity, you are not sure if you are on the right path or not, it's all part of this path. And maybe this story that I've been telling, that you like feel defensive, or that you cannot do what you're like what you want to do, or you're not allowed what you want to do, maybe that's a story of the past. Maybe it's something that you're going through at this moment. It basically does not matter, because the sun is here for you. You're moving towards the sun. So no matter where you are in this whole process, I'm seeing that landscape of clarity and of sunshine is going to be there. And with the Princess of Wands, I'm seeing some new kind of opportunity, but it's more an opportunity that you feel within yourself. Like now, for example, now you feel free to pursue this passion. Now you feel free to start that social media account and to share your art. Or now you feel free to finally apply for that job, or to move to that place in the world where you've always wanted to move. So the Princess of Wands is talking about you allowing yourself to receive more of what it is that you want, and no longer think that you're not allowed to have it, or you're not supposed to have it because of whatever reason it is, whatever reason that you're like telling yourself or that other people are telling you. So that is basically everything I have to say about the tarot for now. I hope I made myself clear in this story, that even if you feel like you're not on the right path right now, or you're not sure, just know that you are pal number one. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. And I explained this whole situation before about how you could get rid of external influences, or maybe like your own thoughts that are influencing you and telling you that you're not good enough or not supposed to do this. So take it however it resonates, of course, fit it to your situation, and still you are free to create your life the way that you desire. So let's now have a look at our oracle cards. Let's start with this one. We have listen to your intuition. So that's really nice to have that one here. Listen to your intuition. Yeah, that is kind of that feeling that I was talking about before briefly, that you, maybe on a subconscious level or on a deeper level, you know that this, what you're doing with your hands, is part of your path, and that you're supposed to be successful at. You're supposed to be successful at what you're doing and what you desire, but maybe because of certain clouds, like certain judgments of other people or of yourself, you're not really seeing clearly. And I can relate to you guys on a personal level about that as well, because I've been there before. And I just want to reassure you that whatever it is that your heart desires, whatever it is that feels good for you, that's the path that you are supposed to, well, not supposed to follow, of course. You can still decide whatever path you want to follow, but that is the path that is going to make you happy. That's the positive path for you. It's the path that's going to fulfill you. And there might be people or things in your reality, or maybe your own thoughts, that are telling you that it's not going to work out, or you're not going to be happy, or it's not going to be as perfect as you think it will. But all those things are, it's fake, basically. It's not true. That's not the truth. It's just an illusion. Because what your heart tells you, what your heart guides you towards, that is the right path for you. And I can tell you that, like, from personal experience. So yes, this is coming up in the cards, but I can also confirm this for you guys, that following your heart, no matter how hard it might seem in this moment, and listening to your intuition is a part of that as well. Like, your heart and your intuition, I feel like it often is kind of, it's the same thing. That is the path for you. That's the path that's going to make you happy as well. So listen to that part of you, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, because again, that is going to guide you on this path that is going to bring you happiness and fulfillment, and like eventually it's going to bring you in this, towards this Sun card as well. The next card is Master Jesus with forgiveness. You are on a path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. So another confirmation that you are on the path. You are on the path of light, and the path of light also involves healing and forgiveness at some times. So maybe some of you guys, you're having struggles with your father or father figure. Could also be a boss, or maybe a brother. Maybe it's time for you to talk to them. Maybe you need to forgive them for something. Again, this is a general reading, so just take whatever message that resonates. Maybe you feel like you have a connection with Jesus, or maybe there's something else in you or in your life that you need to forgive, or that you would benefit from if you would forgive that, or like that person. But a specific thing I'm picking up here is that it's also about forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to make mistakes, and to again forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made, and not to be too hard on yourself, not beat up on yourself that you that you feel like you've made a wrong decision, or that you feel like you went the wrong way. And because I feel like it's kind of related to the thoughts that you might be having about, well, I'm not good enough, or this is not my path. And maybe recently the clouds have kind of started to disappear, and you've been seeing more clarity, and you were like, oh well, this is the path for me, but I've been ignoring it for so long, and I can't believe that I did not see this earlier. I can't believe that I did not believe this earlier, or that I did not make this decision earlier. And you're being asked to just forgive yourself for that, because you're only doing as best as you can in that moment, with like the knowledge and the information that you have in that moment as well. So forgive yourself from past mistakes, because I'm sensing that these mistakes that, I mean, the things that you call mistakes are not really mistakes. It's just like the image that I'm seeing is just a child that has just figured out how to walk, and they still stumble every now and then. Like, that's also not considered a mistake by the parent of that child, right? The child is just learning to walk, so of course it's going to stumble and fall every now and then, but that's part of the process, just like this is. So don't see your mistakes as mistakes, see them as maybe, you stumbling over something. And it's alright to forgive yourself for the things that for the things that you did or said in the past that you no longer agree with, because again, those decisions and those things were done by a past version of you, and that was the right thing for you to do back then. And as long as at that moment you felt like it was the right decision, then there is no need to see it as a mistake or to see it as the wrong decision. For our next card, we have Willing Entanglement. This is a very interesting card. It's very haunting, I feel like. Willing Entanglement. Let's see. This is giving me a little bit the same vibe as the Eight of Swords. As in, there's someone who is in a situation and they choose to keep themselves in that situation for a reason. Maybe because they're scared to move on, maybe because they're scared of what's to come. And I think, like, you see how this woman is, like, she's tied up, or like there are all these ropes around her body, and the image that I'm seeing is that you, like, if this were you are pulling on this string and you're like unraveling, and you're like taking off the rope and taking off like anything that's constricting you. And again, I feel like this is part of your path as well, that you are supposed to take this thing that is inhibiting you or keeping you stuck or keeping you down, keeping you suppressed, and you're supposed to take it off of you. You're supposed to free yourself and then use that experience of being stuck and freeing yourself as kind of a stepping stone to the next thing. So basically anything that happened in the past, this is more of a general message, anything that happened in the past, you're allowed to see it as a stepping stone to the next part of your life, or like the next cycle or the next thing in your life, instead of seeing it as mistakes or seeing it as something that you're regretting. Instead, use it as something that makes you stronger and more experienced, and something that can bring you further. I'm seeing in relation to the Ace of Pentacles here, maybe it's related to some kind of art. Let's take, for example, someone who's a painter and they are using their past experiences to express them in the painting that they're making or the drawing that they're creating. And that will, and they release that to the world. They show that to the world, and then other people, they relate to that and they love it. And then they support that artist, and that artist, and their art becomes a success. So this is the kind of storyline that I'm seeing for you guys. You're supposed to take your past mistakes and past experiences and use it to express yourself, or use it to fuel yourself, to motivate yourself in this practice that you're doing with your hands. So it's like your soul willingly chose that you were going to be this entangled so that you could free yourself and unravel yourself and use that experience of breaking free to create something, or to inspire people, or to help people, to support others, right? This is the story that I'm seeing. So again, this you feeling stuck, you being entangled is a part of your path, because you're supposed to get to become free and to break free and then live in the sun, as I was saying before as well. So for our last card, we have Healer. Yes. So some of you guys, all of you guys are healers, and I think most of you heal through your hands. And the thing is that you can be like literally a healer, maybe a doctor or a nurse, or again, like I mentioned before, you're using Reiki to heal people, but honestly, art also heals. So if you're indeed drawing something, or you're painting something out of your own experience and then sharing it with people, like just the image of that art alone is also what heals people. Or if you're writing a book, or if you're, I don't know, again, whatever it is that you do with your hands, you create something, you design something, and when other people see that, or other people come in contact with it, they are healed by that. So this path that you're on is the path of a healer, and before a healer can heal, they first need to heal themselves. And I feel like this is very much part of the process that you're going through right now. Again, this might be already something that happened in the past, or something that you're currently going through, but this whole process is working towards that, towards you being a healer. I'm hearing that you can only heal the things that you suffered from yourself, basically. So let's take a very simple example. Maybe someone who suffered from abandonment in their childhood, and they of course take that into the later years of their life, but then they decide to heal from those abandonment issues, and because they are healed, they can help other people who have experienced the same things that they did, and help them heal from abandonment issues as well. So it's something like this: you can only heal what you have suffered from yourself as well. And of course, the suffering is just a general term, or you can, let's just say it like this: you can only heal someone if you have experienced what they need to heal from as well. So you can only heal what you have healed from. So I'm going to end your reading here, pile number 1. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it and you liked it. In case you did, feel free to leave a like, to comment, and to subscribe, and maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys! Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started with the tarot. Have a look whether you are on the right path or not. And I am already seeing a star, so I think that's a good sign. Let's have a look at our tarot cards for pile 2. About their path. Are they on the right path or not? Have a look. We have the Magician. Yeah, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Oh my god, look at her shirt. There are stars on her shirt. And the wand she's holding also has a star on it. There's a star. Let's just get some more cards before I start talking more. Let's see, for pile 2. We have Judgment. 2 major arcana. Yes. Pile 2. Is pile 2 on the right path? What do we have? We have the Princess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. So pile 2, like, I don't know who you are, but you are some powerful person. Let me tell you that. The Magician and Judgment, it's like, I'm seeing that you have everything that you need to pursue this path and to succeed on this path. I'm seeing you have the vision, and I'm seeing you have the vision. You might have a practical plan as well about what you want, but most of all, like, the reason why you have this vision is because your soul, or your higher self, is very clear, is very directly telling you what it is that you need to do, or what your purpose is, what your path is. If we're talking about path, like we're talking about path in his reading, your soul is very clearly telling you and very directly telling you, this is your path, this is what you need to pursue, this is why you were made, this is why you were born here, this is why you are here. Like, you are the magician, you are supposed to accomplish something here that is very important to you on a soul level. It's very important. And with the Nine of Swords here, this is your conscious mind that's peeking through. I'm seeing that you might have some doubts, or you don't understand why you want to do the things that you want. And what I'm picking up is that's kind of like your soul, of course, is on a soul level, has much more knowledge than you have. Your soul knows everything that is going to happen. It knows what you signed up for to do, right? Your soul knows it all. Your soul is kind of all-knowing in that way. But you, on a conscious level, you don't. You can't see very far ahead of you, like when it comes to in the future. You can't predict the future very far. Yeah, you can predict your future far into the future. That sounds a little bit weird, but you can only see into the future up until a certain level, or you can only imagine yourself in certain situations up until a certain level, which is also why when we manifest, or when we ask for something, we often get something that exceeds our expectations, because our soul, or our higher self, or subconscious, however you want to label it, knows better what it is that we want than we do on a conscious level. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's not a judgment, it's not a predicament. That's just how it works here on earth. Our higher selves, our souls, they know more than we do on this conscious level. And the reason for that is also because, you know, if we would know everything that's going to happen or that we're supposed to do, then what's the point of coming to Earth and learning these lessons and experiencing these things, you know? What's the point of the test if you already know the answers, right? So here the Nine of Swords is representing certain doubts you have, or because you don't understand everything, or because you can't really imagine how is this going to work out. Like, my subconscious is telling me that I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to be that, but I really can't see how that's going to turn out. And yeah, like it's simply that. It's simply just your conscious, or your ego, however you want to call it, thinking that way because it cannot fully grasp everything that your soul has decided to do, right? It cannot understand everything. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but this is just saying that whatever doubts or whatever unclarity you find yourself within is nothing. It's just clouds. It's just it's nothing. It's an illusion. It's not real. Like, just because you cannot imagine how something is going to happen does not mean that you're not capable of doing it, or you're not capable of ending up in that outcome that you desire, or, you know, on the path that you feel like you're supposed to pursue. And I was seeing a star before, so maybe you're supposed to become a star, become famous, right? Have a big social following, or whatever it is. Or maybe you're supposed to be very successful in your job and be like a celebrity within like your career field, or maybe in your local community, right? You're supposed to be a star, and you, in case for those of you who resonate with that, you might be, your subconscious or your higher self, your soul already told you you're supposed to be a star, you're supposed to be amazing and inspire people. But here you are like, well, sure, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know if that's even possible for me. Like, why would a person like me become popular and become famous? And here with the Princess of Cups, and she's holding her phone in her hand, I see you, or some of you, working on something to indeed get you famous or make you famous. Or if it's not related to fame but any other kind of success, you're like figuring out, okay, I'm supposed, like my higher self is telling me I am supposed to do this. This is part of my path. So let's now figure out a way to get there. Let's now figure out a way to do this. And maybe it involves social media. Maybe it involves a certain job, like applying for certain jobs is what I'm seeing. So it might involve a phone or the internet, but it doesn't really have to be. Maybe it involves socializing with other people, communicating, networking, things like that. And you're like, well, I'm supposed to do this and be this, so let me just try it. But then maybe it's not really working out, or maybe it's not having the results that are promised to you. So if you're indeed promised success and fame and whatever it is, and you're trying these things and it's not really working out, like you're not seeing the results, you're not seeing the increase in followers, you're not seeing that you're like being invited for a job, you're not being invited because of the job application, or those people you're trying to contact are not contacting you back. So let's have a look at this, and what else is there to say about this for pile 2. So here we have the Four of Swords. So let me get one more card. Let me get one more card for pile 2. What is this related to? Why is pile number 2 experiencing it like this? Tell me about that path. Let's take this one. We have the Fool. So that's another major arcana. And at the back of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So let's put that over here for now. So with the Four of Swords, it's obviously talking about a period of rest and introspection is what I'm seeing. And it's funny that here in the Fool she's also holding that phone, so there's definitely something about like that phone, like communicating with other people, social media and followers and things like that. There's definitely something about that. And the Queen of Pentacles is here to assure you that yes, you're going to be successful. This might be confirming for those of you guys who are interested in things like fashion, makeup, modeling as well, hair, that this is indeed what's going to happen for you. So if you were looking for that kind of confirmation, that's definitely it. Like something about beauty or about clothing. Does not have to be, but it's just for some of you guys. Again, a model or influencer, some of you guys might be interested in that. And here with the Four of Swords, to go back to the Four of Swords, there's this period of rest here. And even as I am like tuning into this energy, it's unclear to me what exactly is going on. But I'm seeing that you're meant to turn inward. So with the Princess of Cups, you guys are doing something to make this happen, which is not a bad thing, obviously. But it's the wrong way of thinking that you're going to get what you want by trying to push the 3D or trying to make something happen in 3D. That's not how this works. You are going to make something happen in a 3D by first like creating it in your mind or attracting it through your vibration or through your thoughts. So like law of attraction or law of assumption, whatever it is that you prefer to use, or you prefer to work with. So at the same time, I think that this path of yours is also a very spiritual one, because here she's meditating. So first of all, like I said before, you're not going to become this star by trying to make something happen in the 3D. If you're going to, for example, post videos or pictures because you want to become famous or you want to go viral, it's not going to work like that. And in the words of Abraham Hicks, it's like an upstream action, like you're going upstream. So you're not going with the flow, you're trying to force something. And I can clearly feel, of course, how this feels like and how it's like. So I'm going to try to explain this to you as well so that you can understand. But it's like if you see a life as a river and you're trying to move your boat in a certain way, and this boat is like your life. It's like the success that you want or the star you want to be, and you want to move it in a certain direction. Or even if you're looking at an ocean, which also has a current, if you try to push your boat against the current or against the stream, it's not going to work. Maybe it's going to work, but it's going to be difficult, right? And you forcing the boat to go there by the actions that you take is not the way to go in this situation. It's not the way to go for you. And I think you on a soul level also know that, or it's something that you're supposed to learn in this life. But instead, what your soul wants you to do is to go with the flow and to go downstream and to place the boat in a river and to tell yourself, this is where I'm gonna go. I'm going to be this successful. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to have this amount of followers. I'm going to be happy and satisfied with my life. I'm going to be rich, or whatever it is that you desire, and allow the current or the flow or the stream to take your boat there. That is a downstream process. It's taking basically passive action. It's being passive and allowing it to happen. And I am not saying that this is the only way and that it's not going to work by taking action, or like by trying to force a 3D. I'm not saying that. That's like totally up to you, whatever it is that you choose to believe. But this is something that is coming through in this reading, that for this situation, you're supposed to let like the flow get you to where you're supposed to go. And I think that I know that the Four of Swords is here to represent that. And it looks like you going with the current and going with the flow. You're going to discover how to do that by going inwards, by going on like an inner journey, or like turning inwards, and again making something happen from your mind. So if we're again talking about a river going upstream and downstream, the way that you are going to move your boat is not by forcing it by hand, but it's by imagining it in your head that your boat is moving. So this is what your soul wants you to know about this path as well, that it's a process that happens in your mind, which is going to get you to that fame or to that success that you desire. And it might require some more introspection to fully understand what it is that you want, or why that you want it, or to create more trust and confidence within like yourself, but also for like the universe or your soul, your intuition, that everything is going to be all right, everything is going to happen in your favor, and everything is going to turn out incredibly well, because again, that's what is predicted here with the Queen of Pentacles, of course. And that whatever it is that you desire, it's like you are going to have it, and you having it will also be, or it might include, or it might be an opportunity that will allow you to start over and to start with a clean slate. I'm seeing for some of you guys like new opportunities to pursue what it is that you want. Maybe you want to live in a specific type of house and you're going to have that, or again, maybe you want to collaborate with certain kind of people, maybe you want to travel to certain places of the world. This is like this is a whole process of you becoming the star, and the moment that you are the star obviously is what's going to provide you with the opportunities to be that. So again, those things that I mentioned before, to travel where it is that you want, or to have whatever it is that you want. So when it comes to you being on the right path, yes, you are on the right path, and I'm getting that there is a lot of like divine guidance going on here, and divine timing and divine intervention maybe as well. And that the most productive way to spend your time is in introspection, is in spending time with you. Maybe it's like changing some belief systems or rewiring your brain in certain ways, or allowing yourself to desire to be successful and to be that star. Allow yourself to have everything that you want, and in that way it will come to you. So that might be a part of what is happening here. But just so you know that if you are supposed to be successful, it's going to happen no matter what. So, and yes, you are supposed to be successful. So you posting more videos, or posting more pictures, or putting yourself out there more, or reaching out to people more and more, in the end is not what is going to make you reach like that star state, the star state, or like the state of success that, or fame that you desire. In the end, it's going to be your own mind and your own thoughts that's propelling you towards that. I hope I'm making myself clear, because again, it's very clear to me the way that it's coming through to me, but then it's sometimes a bit challenging to also make that come across, that like understandable, and that it's clear to you guys as well. Let's have a look at our oracle cards now. We have compromise with the scales. Compromise. Let's see with compromise. With compromise, the compromise could be indicating that there are certain things that you need to let go of before you can welcome more of what it is that you want into your life. It's like you're replacing the old with something new, is what I'm seeing. So maybe there is a job that you have, but you really want to be, for example, like an influencer. And in order for you to become a successful influencer, you need to do that full time, or influencer, or YouTuber, or whatever it is. This is just an example. You need to be working on that full time, but in order to do that, you need to quit your daytime job, or you need to look for another job that you can easily combine with whatever, like your influencer stuff or YouTuber stuff that you do. So it's something like that for some of you, that in order to have what it is that you want, you might need to renew some things. You might need to, for some of you guys, maybe change with which people you talk with a lot, with the phone here. Maybe for some of you guys, you're talking with certain people and they might be saying things like, well, it's hard to become a star, like, just let's keep this general, it's hard to become a star, and it's never going to happen, and it's like a 1 in a million chance, and it's that stardom life is not that great at all, and blah blah blah, and they're saying all these negative things about related to what it is that you want to do and you want to be successful at and you're going to be successful at. And that is on a subconscious level also kind of influencing in you in a way, because you keep hearing people say that maybe like you're it's not going to happen, or maybe it's not your path. And I can also totally understand this, that even if you do not want to believe that, you know, if some people just says like, well, doing this is just not meant for people like us, you know, things like that. And even if you do not believe that, hearing those things can subconsciously influence you as well. So maybe for some of you guys, you need to like change the conversations you have with the people you hang around with, or maybe talk to different people, or simply not talk about your wishes to anyone at all, so that nobody can influence you in that way. So this compromise is kind of asking you to give back what is old, or to release what is old, so that you can welcome something new in. This is quite specific, so fit it to your situation. Again, if there is something, you know, that rings a bell, take this message and claim it. And if it does not resonate for you, it's also fine, because then the message was not meant for you. The next card we have is Odin with Psychic Sight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. So you have psychic sight, your third eye is open, so maybe you're having visions of the future, or in your dreams you're seeing the future, or you're seeing things happen, or what I'm also getting is that maybe at times you get a vision of what your life is going to be like, and that kind of triggers something in you, and then you're like, yes, I actually would like to have this kind of job, or I actually would like to live here, or I actually would like to be doing this, or to be that, or to be involved in that. So it's like your soul is also like sending you these images of this is where you're supposed to go, and this is what's meant for you. And then again, that gets you triggered, and it gets you excited and motivated of like, yes, this is indeed what I want. What a good suggestion. Let's do that. And I think it's important for you to start taking those visions, and if they're not visions but maybe feelings, or maybe you're hearing something, to take them more seriously. Because here with the Magician, and especially the Judgment card, there is such a strong, again, message coming through. Like that message from your higher self and from your soul going to you, that this is what is meant for you. This intuition, this feeling that you're getting, this vision that you're seeing is there for a reason. And I think, like I said, you're supposed to take those things more seriously and to trust them a little bit more. Follow your intuition, because again, those messages that your higher self and your soul send, they are so powerful and so strong that, yeah, it's just, you might be scared that those are messages coming from your ego, and I totally get that if that's the case, because I think we all have that every now and then. But the truth is that if you really pay close attention to the messages that your intuition shares with you, and the messages that your ego shares with you, there's a big difference in how they make you feel. There's a big difference in which they come through to you, because when it comes from your intuition, it at times almost feels like it's coming from outside of you. And when your ego is telling you something, it does feel like something that's fabricated within your mind. So the messages that are coming through your intuition, they are so strong and have such a unique feeling to them, that there is no way that you could mistake them for ego. There is no way that your intuition is going to, or that your ego is going to tell you something, and that is going to feel like it's coming from your intuition. And again, I think that in case you are still working on this, it requires practice as well. I can definitely also relate to this message. So I know how intense that struggle can be. Like, is this my intuition or my ego telling me this? But just know, pile number 2, that that intuition of yours is so strong that you are never going to mistake it for something that your ego is telling you. And again, just practice with it and try to trust it more and try to take it more seriously, because through experience and through, maybe experimenting and trying things out with your intuition, you're also going to build more trust in it, and you're going to see that it does work this way and that it is accurate. Our next card is the Golden Moment with number 5. I think, pile 2, that this is the calm before the storm. Honestly, if I look at this card, the way I'm seeing this is that, again, like I said, the calm before the storm. This golden moment is the moment right before everything starts to change. So I cannot tell exactly what it is, but again, you're meant to be a star in some kind of way, and that is going to bring a lot of different things with it. Like I mentioned before, opportunities, maybe money, fame, whatever it is. And I see that you being that star is going to be so different from the life that you're living now, that the moment in that you're watching this, so the moment in the calm before the storm, is like the golden moment. This is the moment that everything is still possible. It's like, and this might sound a little bit metaphysical, but what I'm hearing is that in this moment, in this golden moment before you're going to be the star, there are like infinite of possibilities of what is going to happen and how it's going to happen. Like, because nothing is sure, everything is possible. That's always what I tell myself whenever I'm confused about something. When nothing is sure, everything is possible, and the opportunities are limitless. They're infinite. So that's the golden moment right now, that you're still in this open landscape of unlimited possibilities. And at this moment that you are going to reach this stardom, that you are, when you are the star, that's when everything becomes more fixed, because it feels like you're more fixed to a certain path. So maybe that is what is still going on right now in your life, that you're kind of figuring out which direction to go in or how to make it happen, right? So you're in this open landscape of so many different opportunities and possibilities and directions and choices, that it at times even seems a little bit overwhelming. And once you are that star, the path is more fixed, because you've chosen a direction to become that star, which again are going to bring some opportunities with it, but also some responsibilities and some other situations. So I hope I explained that. Again, it might sound a little bit metaphysical, but this is how it's coming across to me. Once you have reached that state of the star, it's like it's kind of fixed again in which direction you are going. So this card is basically here to tell you that this is the calm before the storm. This is the moment that still everything is possible, and that you're allowed to enjoy this moment and to indulge in the moment, because now you don't have those responsibilities yet. Now you are still able to do some things that you're not supposed to do later on. Maybe at this moment you are looking for a job, and you becoming that star means for you to have the job of your dreams. And while you don't have a job at this moment, you are like free to go wherever it is that you want at whatever time, whenever it is that you want, obviously, because you're not constricted to this job. But once you have that job, you're not able to travel as much anymore as you could in at first. So that's why this card is here, that appreciate all the things in this moment that you have, that because maybe at a later point you will not you will no longer have those things, or you will no longer be able to do those things. And just saying it, there is not like a sad energy connected to this. This card is just telling you to appreciate the moment. And it's like, I'm seeing a golden light, so it's like be in the golden light and be in the state of gratitude and of abundance, because that is what this moment deserves as well. So let's have a look at our last card, which is Banquet for the Soul. And look at this. Look at this card. It's so gorgeous. All the colors, all the red and then the blue at the top. This is so gorgeous. Banquet for the Soul. And this reminds me of a quote, and I don't remember where I read it. I don't remember who said it, and that's so sad because it's such a great quote. And I often also remind myself of this, that life is a banquet. By the way, that word banquet sounds so weird in my mouth, but like, life is a banquet. Life does not require for you to suffer. Life is not supposed to be hard. Life is a banquet. Like, you're supposed to enjoy it. You're supposed to indulge it. And this is like, can you call it a belief? I think so. This is a belief that I chose for myself when it comes to manifestation. Life is a banquet. Life you are supposed to enjoy. You're not supposed to live in suffering, or to live not having what it is that you want. You're supposed to have what it is that you want. That's why you have that desire in the first place. You have that desire because you're supposed to have it. So life is a banquet. It's a banquet for the soul. Whatever you are experiencing right now and you are going to experience is such a great experience for your soul. And I'm seeing with the colors here that with all the red, that indeed your soul loves all these materialistic things. And I'm saying materialistic because I cannot really find a better word for it right now. But it's like the color is representative of the root chakra, and root chakra to me is all about being grounded, but also about being rich and being living the luxurious life, or having all of your desires and living life the way that you want, and indeed seeing life as a banquet. And your soul enjoys very much to have all of that. And I know, and I mean, I personally grew up like this, in this way, and maybe some of you guys have as well. I don't know if it's like a common thing or not, but sometimes we feel like we're not supposed to live the best life, because then we're suddenly arrogant, or then we're like, when we're rich, we're also assholes, you know? Like, I grew up with those kind of views that people who are rich, they are like either assholes or they're cold. They got their money in maybe illegal ways, or they did not work hard enough for money. So these are kind of the beliefs that I grew up with. And I think in our society, well, in the world in general, rich people are still seen, or are seen like that generally as well, because of jealousy, basically. Because someone who wants to be rich and wants to have all those materialistic things that someone else has, they're going to be jealous of that person, and of course they're going to say, well, that person probably did something that was not right to be so rich, or that person is not working hard enough, or they don't deserve that type of money, they don't deserve to be so rich. So there are some negative beliefs concerning being rich and being fortunate, and I think personally that everyone is allowed to be rich and to be abundant. Like, there's no reason why you're not allowed to be abundant, and your soul also sees it that way. So your soul is not really, doesn't care about what other people say, that maybe rich people are bad or whatever, or that if you have a lot of like if you have a big house, or you care a lot about expensive things or about brands, then you're suddenly like materialistic and you're shallow, right? Your soul does not care about that, because that's not the way your soul sees it. That's just how people see it, how other people see it, that having a lot of stuff makes you shallow and only care about money and only care about expensive things or whatever. That's just what jealous people say about people who have what it is that they want. And again, your soul doesn't see it that way. Your soul desires to experience being rich, or being a star, being successful, being an influencer, being whatever it is that you want, that maybe other people see as materialistic or shallow, or it's not hard work, so you're not supposed to be abundant or rich or whatever. Again, your soul just wants to desire that, and it does not discriminate between if you have it, then you're bad, and if you don't have it, then you're good, or something like that. Again, it's a very twisted way of thinking that humans have when we don't have what other people also have. It's just jealousy, and it's really sad that this world works that way, but you know, what can we do to change it? But again, this card is here to tell you not feel bad about wanting to be successful, or wanting to be rich, or wanting to be famous. Don't feel bad about your desires, okay? That was a very long rant, and maybe I went a little bit off topic, but I just want to make this come across to you. I just want this to be very clear to you, pal number 2, that whatever materialistic desires that you have, that your soul has, that's just what you're supposed to experience. That's what your soul wants to experience, and to prevent yourself from having those things simply because of belief systems of you or of other people would be a crime. To prevent yourself from having that, or to force yourself to not want it, or believe that you do not want it, because you want it because you're supposed to have it. So don't feel bad for wanting some materialistic things, or again, like being successful or having that fame. It does not make you superficial. It does not make you a bad person. It does not make you anything other than happy. So accept your desires as true. Accept them as something that you're allowed to have, that you're supposed to have. And I think this is a very important message for a lot of people, actually, for myself included. So I'm very happy that this came up in this reading. So that's everything I have for you guys, pal number 2. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me do this reading for you. Your energy was so powerful. Like, the energy of your soul is so powerful, and I think you're on a very beautiful path, and I wish you a lot of luck, a lot of love and light and happiness and all of those beautiful things. So if you like this video, feel free to leave a like, to comment, or to subscribe, and maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys! Hello there, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started and have a look at whether you are on the right path or not, or anything else you need to know. So let's start with the tarot. As I was preparing your oracle cards, by the way, all of the decks were very chaotic while I was shuffling your cards. They were like, the whole deck fall apart, or I would like get 3 cards even though I only asked for 1. I do have 2 cards from one deck over here because it just it just wouldn't give me one card. So I think there is a lot to say here. There are a lot of messages here in this reading for you. So let's have a look at pile number 3. About, are they on the right path or not, or anything else that they need to know. Again, see, the whole deck just flips and falls apart. The first card we have is the King of Swords. Like, what is this? I'm also getting quite a young energy from you guys. Like, that's not typical for the King of Swords, but I'm getting like a younger energy. Or if it's more like a very eager energy. An energy eager to explore things and to do things and to have things. So it's very like rushed. And I also associate that with like a younger energy as well, because I think, you know, young people, teenagers and children as well, young adults, as I'm going to include them as well, are very eager to experience new things and to go out there and to explore and to have things, simply because there are so many things to experience. So for pile 3, what else is there at pile 3? Let's just have a couple of cards at one time, at a time. Yeah, that's better. We have the 4 of Wands. It's really nice. And we have the Moon card. Okay, so I'm getting for some of you guys that, and this also depends on your belief system, of course. So if this does not resonate for you, then just let the message go. But I'm getting for some of you guys that you are starseeds and that this is like the first time you incarnate on Earth, or it's like one of the first times you incarnated here on Earth. So you're like a young, well, not a young soul, because it's not like that souls have an age or something, but it's just more a soul that's less experienced when it comes to Earth. Again, it's not saying less experienced that you're less than other people who are more experienced, but this is just how I'm describing the energy of your soul, that you're quite new to Earth. And I am getting like some Gen Z vibes from this pile as well, so maybe you belong to Gen Z. But I'm getting a very young, more inexperienced energy from you guys. Like, you're quite new to certain things. I'm seeing someone who's new to fashion trends and wants to try new things out. So maybe you relate or you resonate with all of these messages, or just one message or 2 messages of these. So just take whatever resonates for you. Again, some of you guys might be just star seeds, and so you're not necessarily part of Generation Z, but you're star seeds and you're quite new to life here on Earth. And yeah, experiencing a lot of things for the first time is what I'm getting here. And experiencing all of that is a big part of your path. It seems like you're some kind of explorer, like you want to explore this world, you want to discover it. And have multiple different experiences. So for some of you guys, what could also be the case is that you have incarnated on Earth before, but in this life you're doing something entirely different. Maybe it's something that is like a new experience here on Earth that we were not able to like experience before, you know, because of the times and because of technology. You know, maybe let's say something very weird, like an astronaut. You know, I know that's not something very recent, but you know, 200 years ago there were no astronauts, and now there are. So now we can explore space as well. So that's an example that maybe in a past life you were not able to be an astronaut, but in this life you are able to, so you're doing something that is like relatively new, or is like a part of this era that we live in. Or take even influencers, that is something that's more recent, something else on the internet that hasn't been around for a very long time. So maybe your soul chose to do something like this, right? And I think that would fit quite well with the whole like vibe also here of the moon card, of like fashion, design, just beauty and aesthetics in general. What else do we have for pile 3? What is the path that pile 3 is on? Are they on the right path? See what we have next. There is the Empress, and we have the 7 of Cups. So yes, lots of opportunities, lots of choices. So I'm kind of getting the same thing over here again, that there are certain things that you just want to experience, or like your soul just wants to experience and wants to explore. It's all represented by these cups here, various different things. With the Empress, again, I'm getting something related to beauty, to aesthetics. Yeah, that's like in general, those are the things that I'm picking up. So that could include, again, social media, influencer, modeling, taking pictures. Could even be taking pictures of other people or of other things, or being some kind of vlogger, or again, influencer. It doesn't have to be about yourself, or like something on TikTok, like a dancer, or just sharing cute animal videos. It could be anything basically. And I'm getting that you are here, or that this life, the path of your life, is basically just to experience. And I just noticed that the girls in these 2 cards, they're like almost the same. They just have a different eye color, but they have purple hair and this beautiful olive skin. So maybe you have like a very interesting hair color that stands out, or you like to experiment with hair colors, with makeup, with clothing. And it's really not serious. I'm not getting anything serious over here. It's like you're just here to freely explore and to experience. And maybe you're one of those people who simply just needs to be themselves, and in that way they already help to raise the vibration of the world, right? You're like some kind of healer, some kind of anchor, to bring certain energies here to Earth. So you undoubtedly also are very spiritual and have a spiritual connection. Otherwise you would not be in this reading in the first place, of course. So let's have one last card for pile 3. One tarot card for pile 3. All right. Let's take this one. We have the 10 of Cups, which is really nice. And there were 2 other cards that popped out at the same time, which were the Death card over here, and we had the Knight of Pentacles as well. I'm just going to leave them here for now. So, I'm picking up something, it's kind of, the message that I'm picking up is that you have some kind of purpose here that is supposed to inspire people to also be like a more authentic version of themselves, but it's more like you're being an inspiration or an example to a specific group of people. It's like you're shedding a light on a certain lifestyle or a certain part of life that maybe was not discussed a lot before or is not accepted a lot, and you're simply being an example by living that life. And I'm seeing like some examples here, and I don't want to necessarily say that they are unconventional, but it's more like some people see that, you know, there are still certain issues here in this world, and not everyone agrees on everything, which is also totally fine. That's like the nature of this world, of course. But there are certain issues that need to be discussed. There are certain things that need to be accepted more, and we just need to become like a happier community, just at large, or a happier world, and that we're more accepting towards other people. So I see you caring for certain things that might be not like the standard what people care for, or like maybe a certain type of aesthetic. Like the girl here, she is also wearing an eye patch and she's looking cute but deadly, which is also a interesting combination. So maybe you're like dressing in a certain way, you're expressing yourself in a certain way that is again quite new. It's not what people dressed like 10 years ago. It's not something that a lot of people wear. You know, it's like, I don't want to say unconventional because I don't like to use that word in a situation, because there is nothing like wrong or bad about what it is that you're doing, but it's just like unconventional. It's not what most people do. It's not what's considered as normal. But again, it's not like it's bad or anything. So I can't really think of another word for it, so I'm going to use unconventional, but just know that I use that word with a positive connotation. Like, it's unconventional because it's not the usual, but still, again, you're shedding a light on something and you're inspiring people. So maybe the way you dress is unconventional, but it's still very inspirational and very beautiful. Maybe, like, again, your hair color is unconventional but still beautiful. Maybe the way you live your life is unconventional. I'm also seeing something related to relationships, and again, unconventional is not really the right word, but other relationships that are like not standard, I guess you could call them, or like not the norm. I'm like seeing like same-sex relationships or non-monogamous relationships, anything like that. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging. I'm just trying to convey how other people see this, right? So maybe you have a relationship that's unconventional in a way that not a lot of people experience them. Maybe your taste in your lovers is unconventional or something like that, but there's something unique about you, something special about you. You live life in an unconventional way that not a lot of other people live, but at the same time, there are people looking up to you because you live your life in this unique and original way, and they feel inspired by you to do the same. So take whatever message resonates here for you. And yes, again, with the death card, it's like you're you might be like contradicting some things. You're like abolishing gender rules or stereotypes or whatever. It's like maybe you're creating a paradox in the way that you dress and the way that you act or whatever. It's something like that. It seems unconventional, but at the same time, it's because it's you, it's authentic and it's unique. So even though other people would see it as unconventional, this is your path. Like, this is your authentic path. This is who you are. This is your norm. And I see that in you being unapologetically yourself. You're going to create so much happiness for yourself. And again, maybe even lead a newer generation towards a path of more acceptance. Let's have a look at our oracle cards now. So with this deck we have 2 cards which are remain positive. So maybe for some of you guys you're starting to question whether this path is for you, or whether you should still be like your authentic and unapologetic self. And this card is telling you remain positive, because you are going to reap the benefits of this. You're going to be protected. You're going to be happy. Of course, there might be certain people who think a certain way about who it is that you are or what it is that you do. But that all doesn't matter, because you are who you are, and you are authentic, and that's the only thing that matters. And the truth is that no matter what you do, there are always going to be people hating on you, or not liking what you do, or disagreeing with you. Like, there is literally people can find something to complain and to bitch about, no matter what it is or no matter who you are. Like, some people really have like a superpower for that, to just never be satisfied, and that's their problem basically. That's their inner world projecting onto you, right? So that's just like a reassurance, like, be yourself, be ever who it is that you are and you want to be, and disregard other people, because they're always going to find something to fight about or to complain about. So don't mind them, just remain positive, just focus on yourself. Because yeah, I'm seeing that there's not really a big path for you. It's just like you're allowed to explore what it is that you want and be yourself. And I think that if I would have to point out what the path is for you, it's just to be yourself and to express yourself in an authentic way. And that's it. And just live your life the way that you want to, with the people you want, like literally. And if you change your mind, you change your mind. That is like the only thing that I could really pinpoint here. So the next card is communicate clearly. You might have some telepathic communication with someone, or maybe with your spirit guides or angels. I'm also seeing dolphins here, so maybe you have telepathic communication with animals or with your own pets in specific. With this card, what I'm also seeing is something about social media, that you're attracting a certain group of people, or you're creating a certain community with certain type of people, and you're bringing them together. Again, could be people who are relating to you. And this, by the way, does not necessarily have to be social media or on the internet, but it's like some kind of, you're creating some kind of community with people who are communicating with each other, sharing their experiences with each other, and you're kind of bringing them all together and showing them how you live your life, and you're also inspiring them in that way. But for those of you who are on social media, and who have an intention to, express yourself on social media and things like that, I do see that you're attracting like-minded people who just want to get to know you, or who feel inspired by you, or think of you as an example. Maybe it's soul family is what I'm hearing. The next card is the Divine Director, Intervention and Purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Isn't that beautiful? Happiness is your purpose. The reason why you're here is just to be happy. Know that you are being guided. So it seems like you're quite protected in this path as well. That even though this path might not seem linear, as in with a beginning and with an ending, there's definitely a path here, and you definitely have a purpose here. But I think the message is for you to not take it too serious. There are certain people who have a specific path and a specific purpose, and they're supposed to accomplish something, and there are other people who are just, they have more freedom indeed to do whatever it is that they want. They don't really have that one purpose other than being happy and to enjoy their life. And there's nothing wrong with either of those things, but you belong in in the last group that I mentioned, in the second group, that you are just allowed to roam free and just to experience. And there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe later in life, maybe a couple of years or whatever, you're going to find some more of a direction, some more of a path. But if that's not the case, then what does it matter? Like, who cares? If you're enjoying your life, that's the most important thing for you here. And again, you might be working together with the spirit guides, angels, with source or the universe itself to like I mentioned before, like raise the vibration of the planet and just guide the planet in a certain way. You might simply be here to be kind of like a beacon, or to kind of broadcast your vibration to other people who are like you, and to help them to raise their vibration and inspire them so that they can inspire other people, which is a beautiful, very beautiful purpose, honestly. Next up we have tea ceremony. That's so cute. And it's like, drinking tea, isn't that just the most relaxed thing that you can do? Like, if we're talking about your path and your purpose in life, it's just enjoy the tea. Like, just enjoy the tea. And that reminds me of another quote. Oh, well, I didn't know. That was the last group that I shared a quote in. And it reminds me of a quote. And it's a quote from a book I read, but I believe, I'm not sure, but I think it was a quote of Buddha, but I'm not sure. So if you know what I'm talking about, if you know it, then feel free to share it in the comment section. But I believe that it's this book, by the way, Only Love is Real. And there is this passage in which they are talking about drinking tea. And while you're drinking tea and you're reminiscing about the past, or you're just thinking about anything else, like maybe about what's to come, things that you're supposed to do, or all your responsibilities, then you're not going to be able to enjoy the tea in that moment. You're entirely going to miss the taste and the smell of the tea. So if you're not fully present in the moment, then, with just a snap of the fingers, or just like it passes and the moment is gone, and it's like a chance is lost, like the moment is lost. And this card is here for you to tell you that the only purpose there is in life is to just enjoy the moment and enjoy the tea. Or if you're not into drinking tea, to drink whatever beverage you prefer. The only true purpose in life is to enjoy the moment. And in addition to that, to enjoy and to be grateful for everything that we have in the moment, and to not worry about what is going to happen in the future, and to not reminisce about whatever it is that happened in the past, because the only moment that is, like, the only time that is really important is this moment right now. It is the current moment, which is the only moment that will ever exist. And this is your purpose: enjoying life and happiness, and drinking tea or whatever it is that you prefer, and enjoy the moment. So for our last card, we have Recovery into Grace. That's beautiful. And I noticed that this is number 13, and before we also had the Death card with number 13. And we also have here a 3 and a 3, so maybe 3 or 13, those numbers are significant to you. 13, like 1 and 3 adding up is 4. We also have the 4 of Wands. But so 3 could be about expansion, right? I could definitely see that here for you, like just explore and expand your mind. And again, 13 always reminds me of death, of transformation, of Scorpio. So you might be a Scorpio or have certain Scorpio placements, but that's not, doesn't have to be. That's just some extra message that I had felt like sharing. So here, recovery into grace. I think a part of your path on this life is to also teach people about grace and about forgiveness and about being unapologetic. For some of you guys, because it says recovery into grace, you might have had a past life that was not as relaxed as this one, so it might have been a bit chaotic. It might have been painful or just very overwhelming to you, and that is why right now you're living a life where you're just free to do whatever it is that you want, to explore and to expand. So it could be for some of you guys, because it says recovery into grace, so that you're coming back into yourself. You're rediscovering what it's like to have fun. You're rediscovering how joyful life can be and how beautiful life can be, and how much beauty there is in life and how much love there is to be shared in this life. So you're just coming back, or you're becoming back into, or you're becoming someone who is like this, like I explained before, unapologetic, unique, expressive, loves to be themselves. And I also wanted to add that for those of you guys who do not really feel like this is their story, like not yet, just know that this is your path. Like everything that I explained before, with like the expression, being unapologetic, maybe being unconventional, or like liking things that not a lot of other people like, being alternative, or again, that's such a label that can also be taken in a negative way, but just know that I don't mean this in a negative way, but you're just cool, you're unique, you're original, and you're authentic, and that is who you are supposed to be, and that is your path. And again, that might be related to healing something of your past, maybe past of this life or past life, so take that however it resonates, but you're moving into grace, you're moving into a very loving energy, full of love, full of happiness. I mean, that's why the 10 of Cups is also here. So that is everything that I'm seeing for you guys. Pile number 3. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you. It was really amazing. I honestly love your energy. You're such a pure soul. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. If you like this reading, feel free to leave a like, to comment, and to subscribe, and maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys!